Good morning. Hey, this is a whiteboard for you guys. Josh and I love to do these whiteboards, but I'm actually taking some time to give a shout out to Josh. He has been putting together some just wonderful videos about all kinds of things, and certainly financial issues are a big deal right now. I have a good friend who just was laid off. He was making $200,000 a year in the mortgage industry as an attorney, and so he's scrambling to remake himself and try to figure out, what to do. And so part of that would be if he was sick, you have SSI, which SSI actually is not for people who are rich, it's for people who are poor, but SSDIB is what you're talking about right there. So I wanted to give everybody an update. One, it has gotten tougher. Number one, tougher to win for anyone under 55. I tell people it is brutal. Two, you can win with my five factors, which is, I tell people, what's Social Security disability about? Social Security disability is your education, your age, your past work, last 15 years, and your mental or physical conditions and their severity, or whether they meet, in Social Security language, is a medical listing. So that means they meet the medical definition for severity. So I tell people, typically, if you're over 55 and you really have a lot of serious problems, you should apply for disability. If you think that you can get better and that if you need to take some time off and work on your health, you can improve, you should try to improve. And then if you can't improve yourself, go ahead and apply. Because it's awful early in your life, your earning years, to go to retirement if you're only 55. And basically some of your best earning happens between 55 and 65. So it has to be a really serious medical condition, something that you can adapt and do any of your past relevant work. That's the key phrase. So number one, how old are you? That's a big deal. Number two, your education. If you only have a 5th grade education and you're a construction worker, you get certain breaks if you didn't complete high school in the process. Third, is your condition really limiting so that you can't do any of your jobs? Josh and I did the basement videos, and basically it's like, I tell people, it's like bowling. Over your 15 years, you've done 10 jobs. Most people haven't done 10 jobs. They've done 3 or 4. But can you bowl those jobs? Those are pins. Can you bowl them down? Which means, like, I was a safety manager of this company, and I can't walk around, I can't sit for very long, so that job is gone. So you have to knock over all jobs that you did before you applied for disability. And so we typically like to do 10-minute videos, so I don't want to go on too long, but I want to give you an idea of planning. All right, so you're looking at, if you're disabled, you're going to get a certain monthly amount. And then you have your house, you have mortgage, you have debt, you have credit card debt. All those things Josh is going to look at. Insurance, gap insurance, whether you're going to be able to have health insurance when you apply for disability. No. Social Security doesn't give you anything in terms of disability payments or health insurance or coverage for medical treatment until you get Medicare, which comes 29 months after you prove you were disabled. So say today is July 23rd, and I'm disabled as of today, and it takes me, for example, 2 years to get a hearing. I convince the judge I am super sick and I can't do this job that I've been doing for the last 15 years. Then they would say, okay, you're disabled as of July 23rd, 2022, but your Medicare Part A, hospital, Part B, doctor, Part D, medication, will not come into place to cover any medical bills for 29 months after July 23rd. So what are you going to do in the meantime? That's a Josh Scanlon question. That's financial planning, life insurance, health insurance. Now, I tell people there's always some help along the way. If you have a company that has short-term disability and long-term disability, you can apply for those two benefits and apply for them right away. Get your doctor to fill out the form. Now, they'll have a special form. It's called an attending physician's report. You take that to your trusted doctor who knows you and have them thoroughly fill it out as to all the problems that you're currently suffering from and all the limitations. Now, If you don't get better, you can use that form for your Social Security disability claim application and your claim. But in the meantime, you'll get short-term disability and long-term disability, and last of all, you can talk to Josh about this, is somehow keep your health insurance in place. So they use the word COBRA. COBRA means you get to buy it at the rate that your employer was paying for you to have it, and you stay on the insurance, but sadly, you have to pay for it. So, but it's worth paying for because you're going to get sicker and sicker, and you want to apply for disability, and you want to prove disability. You have to have medical coverage to prove through medical treatment that nothing will help you get better. And so how are you going to do that if you don't have a lot of money and you don't have health insurance? Now, if you have a lot of savings and you have a lot of property you can sell, you can make all this work with cash. Most people don't. Most of Josh's audience is middle class. They have their house and not much else. So I'm trying to help people like the people Josh is helping through his certified financial planning channel, Heritage Wealth Planning, because he's thinking through it from the point of view that you're not independently wealthy. I just talked to one of my friends from college, and he is making $51 million a year. So he doesn't need the same kind of help that Josh and I are trying to help you with. He has plenty of resources to solve his financial problems with medical bills and sickness and health insurance. But for those who are on limited budgets, that's our target audience. We're trying to help you because there's help out there to take you from being really sick to disability. But there is a long process where you have, in most states, you apply, you get denied. You appeal, you get denied. You ask for a hearing, you have a hearing. And that's where we're targeted, for me at least, making your case as strong as we can so that you win at the hearing. Now that's before an administrative law judge, and now lately it's been mostly video, so you can do it from home. They video you in. The lawyer's at another location, the judge is at another location. Sometimes they have a vocational expert at another location. Everybody's on the video screen giving testimony, which I don't think is ideal, but it works. So basically, you need all your medical evidence filed and all your testing done at least 5 business days before the hearing. So that means you have to get all this stuff together way before your hearing, because the judge needs it all there together so that it's easy for him to read through it, he or she, and grant you disability. Basically, you get a fully favorable decision from the Social Security Administrative Law Judge. So what do we want to do for you guys? Well, in this channel, I'm doing Social Security disability as well as other kinds of legal claims, auto accidents, tractor-trailer accidents, slip and fall, workers' comp. But I'm only licensed in 3 states, so legally I can give legal advice to you if you have a claim in West Virginia, Virginia, or Missouri. Now, with Social Security disability, it's agency law, it's federal agency law, so I can represent people in other states, and I do it on a limited basis. Any of the 50 states, including one in Hawaii that I'm looking at right now, where I would show up by video. And at the hearing, I don't have to be admitted to the bar of Hawaii. I only have to be a licensed attorney, which I am. So there's hope. I help a lot of people in the military now. They call me. The sad thing is the hours are so different, wherever they are. So trying to coordinate conversations when you got a 7-hour time zone, 12-hour time zone difference. But I love helping veterans. I love helping guys who've served this country and are now basically falling apart physically or mentally because they put in a lot of service, a lot of time, and their body, our body doesn't hold up. One day our body falls apart completely and we die. We all die. That's part of life. But the good news is, 1, Jesus died for sinners. 2, I can give you help along the way to help you in terms of Social Security disability and win your benefits. And the max benefits for some of you could be $3,000 a month, which if you live in the right state and you use your money wisely, you can manage that to the day you die. You'll have Medicare that'll cover all your medical expenses. The only thing I think would be dental, I think. But dental emergencies get covered by Medicare as well. But I'm not an expert in all of what Medicare covers. But for the most part, you will be fine with the big ones, like a monthly money and with medical coverage. Now, the rest of that, when you sell your house, where do you live? There's all kinds of tax laws that can come into play. So just remember that Josh does the financial planning. I help you figure out whether your claim will be accepted by Social Security Administration and whether you will get a fully favorable decision. Now, I'm not God, so I won't be able to tell you 100%, but I can tell most people who are 55 and they have certain conditions that the judge is going to be persuaded that they can't work full time. And if you can't work substantial gainful activity, that's the phrase they use for full-time work. You can't do it on a sustained competitive basis full-time, then you're disabled. And you just need your doctors. I tell people, your doctors who treat you to fill out the forms listing all the impairments, all the restrictions, and all the complications that are involved with your conditions. And every condition is relevant because all of it adds up to keeping you from working. So I'm signing off, and I want to thank you for listening, and I want you to ask your friends to subscribe because we would like to get the news of all this help that we have for different people out there. So thanks so much.